Hello there. Today, I'm going to talk about Brene Brown's 10 guideposts for wholehearted living. Brene speaks about these 10 guideposts in her audiobook, The Power of Vulnerability. This is a book that an amazing mentor of mine had given me last year when I was struggling with some major life challenges. I highly recommend the whole book. But if you don't have 6.5 hours to listen to the whole thing, here I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of the 10 guideposts that she suggests. So first, I'll tell you a little bit about Brene Brown in case you don't know about her. She's a social science researcher, and for over 20 years, she's been researching shame, vulnerability, and fear, the ideas and concepts that get in the way of us feeling that we are enough. She notes that most of us feel lonely and disconnected at times. We currently live in a culture of deep scarcity where we often feel that we are never enough. Yet in her research, Brene found that about 20% of the population doesn't feel that way. They live lives of joy and belonging and meaning and love. She defines them as wholehearted. And so she wanted to know, what are these people doing that the rest of us are not doing? What do they have in common, and how can we learn from them? And over years of research, she found that there were 10 essential practices, themes that all of these people shared in their lives. And so these are the 10 guideposts. So I'm going to go through them with you. First of all of these people focus on cultivating their authentic selves and letting go of what other people think. That can be a hard one in society, but that's what they do. Second, they all actively cultivate self-compassion and work on letting go of perfectionism. Where there is perfectionism, there will always be shame. Perfectionism is not healthy striving. The idea, if I look perfect and live perfect and do perfect, I can avoid shame and blame and criticism, that is a lie. You don't have to be perfect. You can't be perfect. So you need to let that idea go in order to be healthy. Third, all of these people cultivate a resilient spirit. Across the board, the wholehearted are spiritual people. They aren't all necessarily religious, but they all feel a deep connection to something greater than themselves that connects all of life. Fourth, they all cultivate gratitude and joy. Every single one of them actively practices gratitude. If you do it, if you focus on what you're grateful for every day or every week, some sort of active practice, it can radically change your life. Fifth, they all cultivate intuition and trusting faith and letting go of the need for certainty. The world can be a scary place, and we try to have control of our future, control of what we're doing, but we need to find a way to hold space for uncertainty in our lives and be okay with that uncertainty. Sixth, they all cultivate creativity and letting go of comparison. All human beings are creative. We all actually have a need to be creative. Unused creativity does not just dissipate. Instead, it turns into rage, grief, shame, judgment, depression. All the wholehearted people engage in some form of creativity on a regular basis. I didn't realize that. Brene didn't realize that. She said in her book, she said, being creative, it is not just self-indulgent bullshit. It's actually necessary to being a healthy human being. Seventh, they all cultivate play and rest and let go of exhaustion as a status symbol and productivity as self-worth. Brene found that all wholehearted people engage in regular play and rest. This was a hard one for me. I used to think that the more productive I was, the more successful I would be at life, the happier I would be. I used to think that I didn't have time for play and rest. I was wrong. Play and rest are important and critical for living healthy lives. 8th, they all cultivate calm and stillness and work on letting go of anxiety as a lifestyle. Meditation and mindfulness are key, and I'm going to do a video on meditation next month. 9th, they all cultivate some sort of meaningful work, and letting go of self-doubt and supposed to. I've been working on that one, getting rid of supposed to and have to in my daily vocabulary. Now, when I do things, instead of saying, oh, I have to do this, or I better do that, or I'm supposed to do this, I think, okay, do I? If not, then I choose to do something, but I don't have to do it. 10th, they all cultivate laughter, song, and dance, and letting go of being cool and always in control. So those are the 10 guideposts. Putting these guideposts into practice is a lot of work. Brene notes that it's a lot like following the North Star. You don't ever actually get there, but you just have to keep going in the right direction. In order to remind myself, I painted a version of them, and I actually have it posted up on my wall right next to this desk to remind me every day. Living your life in a wholehearted way, it's not how our society expects us to be. It's not how it is set up to be. It's hard. But in my opinion, it's ultimately why we're here, to show up and let ourselves be seen and to love each other, starting with loving ourselves. So good luck. I'd love to hear if you put any of these guideposts into practice.